I've totally been gaslighting myself. I tell myself things need to change, then talk myself out of doing anything different. There's things I need to do, but don't want to do, so put them off. And there's things I want to do, but don't let myself do, because I should be doing the things I need to do. So I end up doing nothing. Another day wasted. Then I feel guilty. I feel guilty for being me. 5 weeks into my committed daily art practice, I'm having huge insights like that. From the peace I find when I'm creating something, I hear these voices, and from what feels like a safe distance, I can observe what goes on in my thinking. I've noticed that once these thoughts have been seen, they can't slip under the radar and go unnoticed, like they have been for the last 1,000 years. I don't feel like I have to fix anything. I can just say, oh, I'm doing that thing again. And that seems enough. I've been living with a mind full of completely contradictory beliefs, all as compelling as each other. No wonder I've been walking around in circles, dazed and confused my entire adult life. Maybe that's what all these eyeballs I've been drawing are doing for me. Perhaps they're watching out for me and catching all these feral paradigms that are banging into each other and causing chaos. It's me that's living this life. No one is doing it for me. It's my thoughts that govern how I feel about things. Art is changing things. It's changing how I feel because I'm thinking differently. You have to be brave to set about creating art. That sounds dramatic, but that's because art is dramatic. Just a blank page is intimidating. There's triumph in making a mark and not letting it stare me down. Art is changing the experiences I have, how I deal with the ups and downs and the emotions I go through. Like making a mistake and feeling deflated, but plodding on anyway. Then even ending up being glad I made that mistake because it turned out better than I could have imagined. Overcoming challenges of perspective or texture, and being bold enough to try something new. From the disappointment of failure and the pure bliss of that one little line that makes your mouth water at how perfect it is. So perfect, I can't feel I can take credit for it. All that, and that's just one quick sketch. Art is having a profound impact on my thinking. It's like I've got an overgrown, tangled mess of bramble thoughts, and art seems to be pruning shears. Bit by bit, a little bit at a time, I'm tidying this neglected plane I call my mind. Things are getting done, both the things I want to do and the things I need to do. Art is my therapy. Is that what art therapy is? I don't know anything about art therapy. And to be honest, whenever I've heard the term, I've always had a bit of an eye roll moment, like, art therapy? That sounds a bit silly. Wow, I can be such an idiot. I'm going to look into that and find out more. But this week I've been looking at sigil magic. Future me was right. Making YouTube videos has definitely taken an unexpected turn. I've just found out I'm a wizard, and I didn't know it. And you are too. Recently I'd noticed that my art was bringing me situations that I can only describe as synchronicity. I talked about a few of these synchronicities in my last video. I wanted to know more. I wanted to know if I was drawing things into existence. Could it be that art is a tool for making magic happen? So in doing a little digging, I found a massive rabbit hole in which, even as we speak now, I'm still free falling. That's where I discovered Sigil magic. A sigil is a crafted, personalised symbol or glyph that represents a desired outcome by harnessing the power of intention in a visual representation. To create your own sigil, what you do is you begin with a clearly defined intention and then write down this desire. Take out all the vowels and all the repeating letters. Then with the letters you're left with, you arrange them and rearrange them and refine this arrangement until you're left with a glyph that you can visualise. Then achieve a state of no mind, completely aware, completely relaxed, and in that state you focus on the sigil where it gets charged and impressed upon the subconscious, where it goes deeper and deeper and deeper until pop, out it comes and reappears in your reality. Looking into sigil magic, I came across Grant Morrison, who talks about experiencing this very thing. Grant Morrison is a Scottish comic book writer. He's written for Marvel and DC Comics, and he's known for his unconventional stories. His writing is non-linear, philosophical, and is infused with counterculture themes. In 1994, Grant Morrison created the Invisibles comic book, where he drew himself into the story. He based the main character, King Mob, on himself, and Grant began experiencing the same things in real life that King Mob experienced in the comic book. From mundane things like getting dates to really serious stuff like life-threatening illnesses. Observing this, he coined the term hypersigil. A hypersigil is a sigil gone hyper. A hypersigil takes a sigil to new levels. A hypersigil is a work of art that uses plot, character and storytelling to alter reality in accordance to the will and the intent of the artist. A work of art that contains within it something the artist wants to happen by imbuing symbols with emotional resonance and focusing the will. Could it be that when we're creating art, we're creating hypersigils? Because the visual cortex is the largest and most well-developed area of the brain processes images faster and more efficiently than text. This makes images very powerful. Images can trigger emotional responses and influence our perceptions even before the logical thinking mind engages. Images can convey a lot of information at a glance. Visuals are more likely to be remembered than text and create stronger associations in the brain. Images can trigger memories and associations that influence our thinking. Images can trigger emotions, leaving a lasting impression. We can shape our subconscious preferences and biases, and over time, with repeated exposure to certain images, we can influence our subconscious perceptions of the world. Symbols are ancient and powerful. They encapsulate a whole idea in a simple form, like the way we use logos or memes. They depict a complete social and cultural idea in one picture. I'm beginning to see that drawing is a powerful tool. It's not merely a method of representation. It's a tool for shaping perceptions and potentially influencing the world we create. There's a reason that corporations use logos. They're sigils. You see a logo and boom, as quick as lightning, you've got a whole load of information in one icon. Everything you think and feel about that company or brand in a thought form. By understanding how our art influences our perceptions, we can shape our lives. Using symbols and archetypes in our art, we can impress the feelings and behaviours we want onto our subconscious mind, therefore changing our perceptions and influencing how we see, understand and respond to the world. Changing our world in accordance to our will. That's the definition of magic.